how we doing? I'm Andy, this is Spiders, and today we're going to have a look. Well, I've got a few rehousings to do. The first one up is one of my Asian forest scorpions. This is one of the scorpions, well, I've got two of these that I use when I'm doing my little bits for Bugfest in the schools and things like that, but they're both in like rubs, so this one is going in one of those exo terrarium, the plastic things, but it's a bit more clear, a bit more see-through, so that when I'm showing it off or when I'm taking it out to events and fairs and whatnot, the kids can see this one through the enclosure, like. So that's the main reason that I'm rehousing this one. This is my male scorpion, this one is Dozer. After that I've got another rehousing, which is my Thrixopelma ockerti, I think it's the Peruvian flame rump. I've got a male that I've had from a sling. He's about 4.5, 5 inches now, and he needed a bigger pad, so he's getting that. And then last up we've got a new breeding project, which took a turn for the good really, but I'll explain a little bit more about that once we get to it. So yeah, stick around, hope you enjoy what you see, and I'll catch you all at the end. Cheers. Yeah, so this is the enclosure that this scorpion's currently in, and you can see he's just tucked away at the back there. So yeah, as I say, I've been doing some bits for Bugfest over the last 6 months, doing some schools and various bits, but what I've noticed is both of the scorpions are in these rubs, so this is where it's going into. One of these is at the Faunarium, the Exoterra plastic, I think it's a Faunariums, but yeah, you see there's a bit more room in this one. My intention is I'm just going to take this one out and reuse the substrate and all the moss and everything that's in here. I'm just going to reuse it in the new enclosure. So as I lift the cork back here, we get our first proper look at him. And yeah, in all fairness, he was pretty easy to get boxed up. Didn't give me any hassle, and we can move straight on and get on with this build, which is not much of a build, if I'm honest. Like I said, it's just replacing the enclosure. Everything that's in the rub is going to be added in. I'll put a little bit of extra soil in just to give it some more depth. Now, as you'll guess, this is a time lapse. I'm not actually this quick at making enclosures. So you see I put this cork back in, and as it happened, I actually did have to change this later on. The scorpion seemed to be struggling getting in to the entrance, believe it or not, so what I did is I just spun that cork back around 180 degrees, because there was a bigger opening on the other side, and it's all been absolutely fine since. And here we have him. So this is Dozer. Like I say, I had the pair of these, and I had initially called them both Tank and Dozer, after the two brothers from the Matrix film, but it turns out the Tank is a female, so now she's got the new name. This one's still Dozer, but that one's now Tank Girl. And as I said earlier on, you know, hopefully in a couple of years' time, once she matures, I can have a look at maybe putting these together and have my own little breeding project, which should be pretty cool. Especially considering that a couple of years ago, scorpions was something that freaked me out a little bit. And like I say, now I've got 4 of them. I'm looking at breeding them long term, and I'm probably going to get myself a couple more as well. Like I said, yeah, I've become something that's really piqued my interest over the last year. See, this one was just getting a bit close to the edge, so I tapped its tail just to make it spin. You can see how quickly it reacted there. As you see, it didn't actually climb out, and it hasn't done since. I think it was just me being a bit overly cautious, really. So yeah, we'll just get that one back down there, and we'll get the lid on this, and we'll move on to our next spider. And that is my Thrixopelma ockerti. Now this is a male. I've had this one probably about 3 years now. He's not matured as of yet, but he is at a good size now. He's probably about 4.5, 5 inches. Now he went for this little walk on my side, and as it turned out, I'm glad he did, because it gave me a chance to get some footage to really get a look at him, because once he goes in the enclosure, he just disappears. So this was the best chance of me getting some footage to show him off a bit, like. So this is the enclosure he's going in. It's one of the tarantula room circular ones. And like I say, he's got a hide at the bottom. Just put a few branches in just to give it a bit of height if he wants to go for a bit of a wander around. Like I said, this one was set up initially in a terrestrial setup, and it tended to live off the ground, so I've tended to do that whole thing of giving it options both ways as it's been growing. So it's always got a hide on the ground, but it's always got that option to climb, and then it can, if it wants to live in a more arboreal lifestyle, it can do that. Unfortunately, like I said, he doesn't hang around much. You get a quick look at his butt as he disappears into his hide there. But yeah, this one's settling in really nicely. This is, as I've said, the Thrixopelma ockerti, or the Peruvian flame rump, and I'll make sure that we do some updates further down the line. So yeah, before I get onto this next one, this is my Selenocosmia kovariki. Now, I had a male that I've had for about a year. I picked up from Becky Telfer. I think it was at the BTS last year. Anyway, he's now matured, and I didn't have a female, so I tried to see if anybody wanted to make use of him. I hadn't had no responses from anybody. Maybe either their females weren't ready, or I'm assuming other people have got one somewhere, like. But anyway, I just happened to be on the internet one day looking at Tarantula Shop EU, and I noticed he had a female, an adult female for sale. So I thought, right, I'm going to buy it. If I can't get rid of this male, I'll buy the female and I'll put him to use myself. So a couple of days later, a week or so later, I had this email. So yeah, just to let me know my order was on my way. And then, like, I think it was a minute later, I had this email. So there you go. Now I've got 2 mature male Selenocosmia kovarikis. I've got to say massive thank you to Damien, because he obviously didn't know that I already had this male. As far as he was concerned, I was just buying the female, and he's put this male in for me. So yeah, massive thanks for that. And now I'll shut up and get on with it. Now, this is the setup I've done for, this is the male that came with the order. And you can see, pretty basic, just some leaf litter, some moss, some substrate, and a little starter burrow at the side there. And on the whole, this one wasn't really too problematic. It did have a bit of a moment, you see, as it comes off the tissue. It sort of went to bolt, but I was able to use my ninja skills with the tissue and get there ahead of it and manage to stop it from escaping like. There we are, safely in the tub. Again, another little view of that. If I'm honest, I'm not even sure what caused it. It was probably me. I think I may have touched it again with the tissue and spooked it back out. But yeah, that one's in there, and that one's doing fine. And we'll have a look over the next couple of weeks and see if we can get this one in the enclosure with her and try a pairing. Now this is the setup for the female. This is the 5.8 or the 5 litre Brayplast tubs. And you see I'm just putting my piece of plastic over the top here because couldn't be too safe, as they say. Or you can never be too safe, sorry. Unfortunately, the camera didn't get a really good focus here, so you do see her duck into a burrow, and I will get some clearer shots of her in just a second for you. There we go. So this is the Selenocosmia kovariki, or also known as the Vietnam bicolour, I do believe. You see, this is a cracking looking female, and we'll look at seeing how these pairings turn out, and I'll get some footage. So yeah, everything's settling in well. Like I say, Scorpion's well settled. That's been out, and I've actually been out, and since that's been rehoused, it's been out to an event with me. It's been, I think it was a fete, or it may have been a school visit. So he's settling in well. The Thrixopelma is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's this enclosure here. And again, he seems to be settling in well. He moves around quite a bit, does his thing. The Selenocosmia, well, I have tried pairing these, and if I'm honest, the male that came in the order was useless. He didn't have a clue. Put him in there, again he's mature, but put him in there and he didn't have a clue. Now, the other male that I had originally, I've had a try with him. Now, he knew what he was doing. You know, he went in there, he started communicating, he was tapping and everything, but he just couldn't entice her out of the burrow. Now, she's not hungry because she hasn't eaten either of them. She hasn't eaten any food that I've put in there. She isn't blocking her burrow off, which would normally suggest that she's in pre-molt, or she's getting ready to molt, so she's not blocking her burrow off. And I do see her sitting at the mouth of the burrow most evenings, but she won't take any food, and she's not interested in pairing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep week on week. I'm just going to put them in and see what happens, and hope for the best, fingers crossed. So yeah, I mean, I've got a little bit of footage. I might show it down here, or I'll maybe put it over the top, just a few seconds, and see some of the footage of them when I tried that pairing. But like I say, it wasn't successful. So we'll just see what happens over the next few weeks. We'll just keep trying it and trying. I mean, she may molt out, she may not. I'm not sure what's going on with her, if I'm honest. But yeah, you know, that's it for me for this week. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you do, you know, everything's down there, you know, all the buttons that you need. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.